Hi, I'm Richard Byrne, and welcome to the Practical EdTech Podcast. This is episode number 39, if I haven't lost track. Let's get started with some news and notes. I'm going to keep them short because I have a whole lot of questions that came in from readers and viewers and listeners like you over the last week. First new thing to mention is a tool called Note, Knowt, getnote.com. They launched a new version. I wrote about it last summer, and they launched a new version last week that now supports importing your Google documents, any Word documents you have, and also any web page, any public web page you can import into a GetNote notebook. Why this is cool is because GetNote will then turn that notebook into practice quizzes for you automatically. You don't have to do anything other than click on quiz, takes your notes, and turns them into practice quizzes for you. It'll give you multiple choice questions, it'll give you matching questions, and it will give you fill in the blank questions. It gives you instant feedback on each one of your questions and gives you feedback at the end of the quiz to tell you how you did on the whole thing. If you want to retake it, you can retake it. If you want a new version of it, it'll give you a new version of the quiz to practice as well. And next week, they're launching a beta of a teacher product that will let teachers share their notebooks and quizzes with their students. So, really cool tool. Another new thing or updated thing that I like this week, Anchor.fm came out with an update to their mobile app that will let you remotely record a podcast with up to 5 people at a time. So all you have to do is hit the record button on your phone, tap the invite button, and you can send a link to up to 4 other people. So there'll be 5 of you all together. Up to 4 other people can click that link and they can be automatically added into your recording. And it's just like doing a phone call at that point, and it records directly to your phone and to your Anchor account, and you can publish it as a podcast. Pretty cool feature. A couple other quick little things I want to share. Exploratorium has a large collection of hands-on science projects you can do at home, and they added an entire section dedicated to COVID-19. So take a look at that. And also a neat little thing you might want to pass on to parents or students to do at home. A local meteorologist in my area, Mallory Brook, she's on television here and also does some online Facebook Live stuff. On Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings, she is doing live weather lessons for kids. So check that out. If you're interested, if you're a science teacher or you're just someone who wants to pass along a neat science lesson, take a look at what Mallory Brook offers. You'll find her on Facebook, Mallory Brook with an E at the end. Awesome little lessons for kids, weather lessons for kids. She's a really nice person. So check that out. And I'll put that in the show notes as well. All right, so some thoughts about school and about life in general from me. This week was our first full week of students being required to do things for school online. Last week was kind of like a practice week, if you will. This week was actually required for them to show up and do things Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They don't do anything on Friday. We're just going 4 days a week. And my first Google Hangout with my sophomores and juniors was a bit like herding cats. Had to kind of just let them run for a minute, if you will, and chat about things they wanted to chat about because they hadn't really been together. They haven't been together since school closed. So I wanted to let them chat, and we just kind of chatted for about 5 minutes, maybe a little longer than that, just about life and how things were going. And then, I checked in with them on the work they were doing and called it a day. As I just mentioned, on a different broadcast, I'm doing a Friday afternoon thing with Rushton Hurley now from Next Vista for Learning. 2 EdTech guys take questions, so check that out. So I just mentioned on that, I wouldn't typically stand in front of my class and give a lecture for an hour. So I'm not going to do that in a Google Hangout now. I'm not going to suddenly make them stand in a Google Hangout and listen to me talk about programming for an hour. That's not realistic. So I'm still just going to do these check-ins. I'm going to do a short little lesson and then send them on check on their work and then send them on their way. So that's how I'm approaching these things. And we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we get to come back into the school building maybe in May. Right now we're closed down until at least April 27th, so maybe in May. I hope. All right. I hope it's going well for you. Now, this week I had a ton of questions. Literally 5 pages worth of questions from readers and listeners and viewers like you, and I have been trying my best to answer every single one of them. I've been making a lot of videos because of the requests coming in. I'm working on a video right now because of requests coming in. I'm going to work on another one later tonight or maybe Saturday. We'll see how my time goes. So let's get into some of these questions that have been coming in. So number 1 came from Shelly, who watched my demo on Student View of Google Classroom. Says, I'm an elementary art teacher. We're all being asked to reach out to our students and offer them lessons to work on. 2 of us set up a Google Classroom so we could interact with the kids. In other words, I'd love to see what projects the kids are working on. I need a place for them to load a picture for me to respond to. Is Classroom the best way to do this? I listed the code in my classroom, but I'd love to see other kids to see each other's work, kind of like a board for them all to post their work. I tried using a Google Doc, listed it as an assignment, but it seems so buried and inaccessible. Also, lower grades haven't used Google Classroom, so it won't work well for them. What's the best way to do this? Shelly. My recommendation to Shelly was to try Padlet. You could certainly do that in Google Classroom. You could certainly try to collect all the work, but it wouldn't be a gallery. And it sounds like what Shelly wants is a gallery. So I'd recommend using Padlet. You could also try using Wakelet. Padlet's layout options I like a little bit more than Wakelet, but Padlet has a limitation of only a few free boards before you have to pay for it, whereas Wakelet is unlimited. I think Padlet has better layout options and better options in general, but Wakelet will do the job as well. All right. Question from Melissa, and I've gotten a variation on this question from 3 other people this week, so I'm picking Melissa's, but 3 other people asked me a very similar question. Is there a way I can scan and load a worksheet to make the student be able to type on it? Just wondering, Melissa. So, Melissa, and for the other folks who asked me this type of question, there's 2 services that I mentioned that I recommend. Either Wizer, which you'll find at wizer.me, W-I-Z-E-R, wizer.me, or you can check out Kami, K-A-M-I. Both will let you create essentially fillable PDFs, is essentially what you're doing. Yeah. So if you already have a worksheet that you want kids to be able to type on, snap a picture of it, upload it as a PDF to either one of those services, and then kids can type on it. If you're wondering how to make a PDF out of a worksheet you already have, if the worksheet's in Word or Google Docs, you can export directly as PDF. If it's something you have printed and you don't have the original source on it, you can snap a picture of it using a tool like Cam Scanner, and then create a PDF from that image. Cam Scanner will do that for free on your phone, Android or iOS. So a couple of options there. All right. Now, question from Angela, and I've had variations on this question from a few people again. Follow you on a few different platforms and get your weekly emails. Thank you. I need some help. I've created a digital story with Google Slides. I want to make a video of it and record the story aloud. I'm able to do that with Screencastify, but I also want background music. When I make the screencast, it only picks up my audio and not the music. Do you have any suggestions for how to fix this, Angela? So what's happening, Angela, and again, I got some variations on this question from other folks. What's happening is that it's only picking up one sound input. Okay? And it only has the capability to pick up one sound input at a time. So it's picking up your input from your computer microphone and not from your computer playing. So a solution to this would be to do your recording and then use a tool like WeVideo. You can actually do this in Screencast-O-Matic. You can do this in Adobe Spark for that matter. Take that original recording, upload it to one of those services, then add in background music. You could also do that in iMovie. So iMovie, WeVideo, Screencast-O-Matic, Adobe Spark, they would all do that for you. Right. And you'll get better audio quality doing it that way as well, as opposed to recording something being played back from your computer. I got a question here from Patty, who asked about creating escape rooms online. I teach U.S. government. I'd very much like to create an escape room to add some excitement to my lessons. Problem is, I don't know how to do it. Will you send some information or software or sites that will get me through the process? Thank you. Breakout EDU offers some template. So Breakout EDU sells these things, but they also offer a lot of free templates and free tutorials on how to make your own breakout game or online breakout game. So check that out. Really nice folks at Breakout EDU. In fact, I did a podcast with Adam Bello, who's one of their co-founders, back in September. You can check that out in the archives of my podcast. I think it was episode 5 or 6. He was very, very early on. All right. So a couple more questions here, and then we're going to call this one a short podcast. And let's pick from this list. All right. Question came from Lisa Ann, who asked, I'm teaching a filming elective for middle school. Like many other schools, we're working from home. Normally, students use iMovie, IMAX, and Canon camcorders to make films. Now they only have their city-issued Chromebooks. I want to assign a pared-down version of a project in which students do a video podcast, and wondered if you know of any web-based video editors or a Chrome add-on that would allow them to do similar things like iMovie does, trim clips, add text, add music, etc. Thank you. So, my suggestion was WeVideo. WeVideo is the most similar to iMovie that you're going to find. If WeVideo is not available to you because of the cost, now there's a free version of WeVideo, but to really unlock all the best features of it, you do have to have a subscription to it. So if WeVideo is not an option for you, then Adobe Spark. You'll find it spark.adobe.com. Use Adobe Spark's video editor. That would be my other suggestion there. So, short podcast this week. I have, like I said, I've had a lot of questions. And quite frankly, I am tired. Not tired of the questions. I'm tired. It's been a long week of trying to provide a lot of support to students, to my colleagues, and to all of you who are so gracious to follow me online and to reach out to me as well. It's Friday afternoon. I'm going to go ride my bicycle on my indoor trainer right over there and go play with my kids. I hope you all have a great weekend. As always, if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. Richard@burn.media is my email address. Or check me out at practicaledtech.com or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye-bye.